1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse, what verse was that? 25. And you look up that word temperate. Matter of fact, let's look up the word mastery. Agonizomai. To enter a contest, see, contend in the gymnastic games, to contend with adversaries, fight. And what are we fighting? Mainly spiritual demons. These people that come up, whether they're Christian or whether they're just grimy individuals in the street, that come and do and say certain things that irritate, agitate, this is all a fight. It's a struggle. Because we wrestle not against flesh and blood. So those people that come up with different doctrines, those are demons that's on them, trying to provoke us to either try to pull us away from the truth or try to provoke us into a confrontation or fight or whatever the case may be. That's how them demons do. It says metaphorically to contend, struggle with difficulties and dangers. Right. Because it's not easy. This is why the next word, which is temperate, goes into the word discipline, which we're going to get that, Lord's will. To endeavor with strenuous zeal, strive to obtain something. So it's a fight. It's a struggle. But that fight and that struggle is building us up mentally, spiritually, for the greater battle that's coming ahead. When you go to war, you have to train. Those are the training grounds. And once you get to the war, that's where all of the skills that you learn are supposed to come out and help you in this struggle that's going down. Same thing with the spiritual war, right? So the next word is temperate, and the word temperate is akainos. Nope, that's the wrong one. The word temperate is ekratuomai, to be self-controlled, continent, which means what? Discipline. You're training for a boxing match. Certain foods you refrain from. You refrain from women. You refrain from certain passions. You put your body through rigorous training, conditioning, so that when you're in the ring with that individual, all of that hell that you went through training kicks in the ring, because now you can move a lot easier. You're not as winded as you would have been if you didn't train. No matter how good you are, you always have to train. No matter how deep you are in the knowledge, you always have to train, which is what? Keep the wheels turning with the truth. It says, in a figure drawn from athletes who, in preparing themselves for the games, abstain from unwholesome food, wine, and sexual indulgence. Right. Why? So that their bodies can perform at their maximum. And that's what it's about. So when we go back to what the Apostle Paul said, he said, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things, meaning he's disciplined. Just like in this truth. And one thing that this truth teaches us is what? That the Lord chastens us. But he doesn't chasten us to destroy us. He chastens us to make us better. But physically, you feel incapacitated. You feel like, damn, man, the fuck, but it's all for a purpose and for a reason. And when the time comes, that will be revealed. So, oh, that's why I went through all of that shit. For this moment, wow. That's when you have that wow moment, or as they call it, an epiphany. All right? It says, that's why it says, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. We must go through these things. And in going through these things, we still have to function. This is why prayer is so important. Constantly praying to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to give us an inner fortitude, the drive, the zeal to continue on. It says, now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown. Right, because they do it, they put their bodies through rigorous training to get a corruptible crown. but we an incorruptible, which is what? The kingdom of heaven. Getting to the finish line, the victory. The victory. To be able to raise our hands like this. Kwam Yashala! You know, we made it. You know, that's what this whole training is about. Mental, physical stress and hell to make it to the finish line. To build up our endurance to make it to that finish line. Lord's will. Right, like the brother put, but he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. Matthew 24:13. 1 Thessalonians 5:17. Pray without ceasing. That's it. And that's a very short verse, but it says a whole lot. Pray without ceasing. Matter of fact, Ecclesiastes 2 and 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. Why? Because that is what sets us up for what's coming. Now, use this in contrast and comparison. It's something the Spirit just put in my head just now. We're dealing with what we're dealing with. Complaining, you know, of course. Upset. Nevertheless, still dealing with it. Praying to the Lord, please forgive us for, you know, for whatever is going on in our minds. Right? But these people in the world, they're not experiencing these things. So what do you think is going to happen to them versus to us if we be the elect when all hell breaks loose? And they don't have a clue of what to do. They haven't been trained, you know, mentally, you know, with the truth. They haven't been brought up to the speed. They haven't gotten the memo, spiritual memo of things that are coming. Jacob's trouble, the famines, the devastation that's coming, the martial law troops and all, you know. What do you think what's going to happen to them? They're going to bug out. Now, brothers in the truth, you know, and some of the sisters, they're going to be in a better space because mentally they'll be prepared for what's coming. So, this is what the Lord said was coming. You know, so the Lord gave us the ability to brace for impact. These people are heading for a straight up fatal collision without any warning. See? It says, I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air. Right. Because we're not just throwing punches. The purpose for training and sparring and all that is for what? To get your punches sharp, you know, your combination sharp, build up your stamina in the ring. You know, you're throwing punches, you're throwing, you know, hooks and jabs and, you know, uppercuts and all of that. You're learning how to bob and weave, you know, being slick, you know, with it. You know, Philly show your different defenses. Because when you go in the ring and you just start throwing punches, you're hitting the ref, you're hitting the, you know, the corner, you're knocking out your corner man, your cut man, you're throwing punches, but you ain't even hitting the opponent. And meanwhile, he beating the shit out of you, but you still throwing punches everywhere. No. So when we doing this thing, we're doing it, you know, with a skillful mindset of the truth. You know, and what we throwing, what, you know, what combinations we throwing. Because it's not us that's speaking, it's the Spirit of the Lord that's speaking through us. So we throwing those spiritual combinations, you know, to put Satan on his ass, which is in these people. And then we know that at the end of that fight, that battle, comes what? The victory, that uncorruptible crown. And if your mindset ain't on that, then you know, I don't know what you're doing. You're in the wrong frame of mind.